Okay, so moving on, chapter 1, part 2. The ancient wisdom of sacred speech. Historical perspectives from cultures and religions that understand the power of words. Long before microphones amplified our voices or screens carried our words across continents, humanity understood the spoken word to be sacred. In nearly every ancient culture and spiritual tradition, language was not merely a means of communication. It was a force of creation, a vessel of power, a link between the seen and the unseen. Whether it's whispered blessings, chanted mantras, prophetic declarations, or solemn vows, our ancestors knew that what we are just now remembering. Words are not energy. Words are not empty. They are energy. In this section, we'll explore how different civilizations viewed speech as a spiritual tool. Through stories, scriptures, and rituals, they left us a trail of wisdom, reminding us to speak as if the world is listening, because it always is. Okay, so this is where I might start to stumble on some of my words, because there are phrases in here that I just don't normally say, and I don't know how to say them. So just bear with me, okay? Thank you. Okay. The biblical tradition. In the beginning was the Word. One of the most famous affirmations of the creative power of speech is found in the opening verse of the Gospel of John. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. John 1:1. Here, the word is not just sound, it is logos, a Greek term that means divine reason, order, or creative principle. The Bible opens with a universe born from spoken intent. God said, "Let there be light," and light appeared. There is no hammer, no raw materials, only the act of speech. This concept is echoed throughout Genesis, and the world is formed through divine utterance. "Let there be" became the signature of creation. This idea that speaking brings into, that brings the, sorry, that idea, this idea that speaking brings things into existence runs throughout Judeo-Christian scripture. Proverbs remind us that death and life are in the power of the tongue. Proverbs 18:21. I'm so sorry, you guys. The tongue, one of the smallest parts of the body, holds immense influence. It blesses or curses. It builds or tears down. It opens gates to healing or destruction. Ancient Hebrews believed names carried sacred power. To name something was to define and, in a sense, shape it. God's name, so holy it was often unspoken, was viewed as a source of reverent power, not casual conversation. Indigenous wisdom, words as spirit medicine. Among indigenous cultures around the world, the spoken word has long been understood as sacred. Words are seen as carriers of energy, vessels of truth, and tools of spiritual ceremony. In many tribes, speech is medicine. It has the power to heal, to guide, or to harm. In Native American traditions, particularly among the Navajo, Hopi, Lakota, and other nations, language is not just for instruction. It is a creative act. Words are aligned with breath, which is sacred. To speak is to exhale one's spirit into the world. Prayers, chants, and songs are considered powerful because they are formed in cooperation with nature, ancestors, and unseen forces. For example, in Lakota culture, the phrase "Aho Mitakui Oyasin," I don't know if I said it right, is used in ceremonies. It means all my relations, a reminder that our words are heard not just by humans, but by trees, animals, rivers, and stars. Speech is not a private act. It reverberates through the web of life. In many shamanic traditions of South America, Icaros, sacred healing songs, are sung by shamans during ayahuasca ceremonies to direct energy, call in protection, or assist in spiritual healing. These songs are believed to communicate with plant spirits and shift the energy of both the listener and the space itself. Indigenous wisdom teaches that speaking truth aligns us with the natural world. Falsehood or gossip is seen as a kind of spiritual pollution. Words often spoken cannot be taken back. words once spoken cannot be taken back, so they must be used with honor, care, and deep awareness. I wish more of us understood that. I understood it and I still mess up all the time. I started saying things like delete, delete, delete right after I say things that I'm just like, man, I don't want that to come out of my mouth because I know what it can do. I know it can call things in. So that's something that I choose to do is I do delete, delete, delete. If I say something and it's come out, I don't really know. There's no fact, like there's no proof that I'm making a change by doing that, but I feel a lot better about it once I do. And it's cute because my kids have picked up that habit too. So we'll say things and be like, delete, 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 because we don't want to call it in. Okay, Hinduism, the vibration of the divine. In Hinduism, the power of the spoken word is vibrational, elemental, and cosmic. At the heart of this tradition is the sacred syllable Om, often referred to as the primordial sound of the universe. According to Hindu belief, Om is the sound of creation itself, the first frequency from which all matter, form, and consciousness emerged. Each mantra in Hindu tradition is more than a recitation. It is an invocation. Mantras are carefully composed sound vibrations that align the chanter with spiritual energies and deities. The act of chanting is seen as a form of tuning the body, mind, and spirit to higher states of consciousness. The Rig Veda, one of the oldest sacred texts in the world, composed around 1500 BCE, is entirely composed of hymns, prayers, and chants. Reciting these sacred texts was believed to influence the forces of nature, affect health, grant blessings, or offer protection. In this tradition, the voice becomes a tool for spiritual transformation. Even the intonation matters. Mantras must be pronounced precisely to preserve their power. This reveals an ancient understanding that sound isn't just symbolic, it's energetic. Buddhism, right speech and mindful words. In the Eightfold Path of Buddhism, right speech is one of the key principles for living a balanced, awakened life. Right speech is defined not just by what we say, but how and why we say it. The Buddha taught that we should avoid false speech or lying. 2, malicious speech, gossip or slander. 3, harsh speech, anger or cruelty. 4, idle chatter, pointless or thoughtless talk. Instead, we are encouraged to speak with honesty, kindness, and purpose. To speak as if every word has weight, because it does. In many Buddhist practices, especially in Tibetan traditions, chanting and mantra recitation are central. One of the most well-known mantras, Om Mani Padme Hum, is believed to invoke the compassion of, oh my gosh. It is such a long word. Okay, I'm just going to point to it and have you look at it. It's this word right there. Right there. Now I'm going to try to say it. Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva of mercy. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, I'm cracking myself up here. Reciting this mantra obviously I don't recite this mantra because I can't even say it. Reciting this mantra over time is said to purify karma, open the heart, and generate a field of spiritual protection, not just for the speaker, but for the world. In Buddhism, words are seen as agents of karma. What you say sows seeds that grow into future experiences. To speak mindfully is to live mindfully. Okay, I'm going to pause here. I'll come back.